Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Game over.
Thank you so much to Thibaut Touch and the guys. They're back again tomorrow between 3 and 6. Loot Love, as well as Morena and Kiora Peti, at the moment standing in and part of that team. They're back again tomorrow to give you the best drive there is on the airwaves. Listen, it's a packed show and one that I'm excited about. We're speaking to the chairman of Baroka Football Club, Khurishi Mphahlele, about the dismissal of their coach, Dan Malesela. We also, this is an exclusive one, we're speaking to Mphahlele Davids. Do you remember Mphahlele Davids, yeah? At Orlando Pirates. Do you remember how it all ended at Maritzburg United? We're going to be speaking to him because alongside Joseph Zimbauer, he's out in Morocco. He's the assistant coach of Raja Casablanca. Joseph Zimbauer and Mphahlele Davids together as coach and assistant have taken a massive step towards a historic Botola Pro League title in Morocco. The former Orlando Pirates coach beat bitter rivals in Wydad Casablanca 1-0 in Casablanca. This is on Sunday in the big derby, thanks to a late goal. I think it was Enafati that scored in the 90th or 92nd minute there. So we're going to be speaking to him about all things since he's been away from us here in our shores. I mean, he's gone on to get further badges as well, so we'll have a chat about that. And then Omar Kaktugba comes on, UEFA accredited journalist and founder of Oma Sport. When we're speaking the Euros, we're going to be speaking what else is there? It's the Euros. Oh yes, it's Mbappe being announced by Real Madrid and Nigeria taking on South Africa. So there's a lot to talk about. But firstly, I want to get this brain thought out. You know, you can think about it. You can, have your say wherever it is that you do. A photo is taken during a match when Khurishi Mudau, sailor, is struggling with a shoulder injury during the final Sundowns versus Orlando Pirates, and he is in pain. He signals to the bench where his coach, Rolando Mokoena, is situated to say, I want out, I'm in pain, I'm hurt, I don't think I can carry on any further. The bench, and you can see in the conversation they have, say, get in and keep playing. He goes down again to say, I am injured. He's told to carry on playing. Right? Then we see the coach writing a note, frantically writing a note on the ground on a yellow piece of paper with a red pen. He writes this note and passes it on to players to give to Khurishi Mudau. We didn't know where it was going until it arrived. It arrived, Khurishi took it and read it. And perhaps if he was not injured, he would have been a lot more secretive about how he reads it and opens it up. But he was injured. So, he reads it. And a man that is a friend of the room here, Vino Snap, takes a photo and zooms into that picture to a point where we see the content of what it said. It's a very personal message. I know the context of it because I know, but many don't. That note, as naked as it is out there for the world, for the country to see the conversation between coach and player. We don't have microphones where the coaches sit and they give instructions. We don't know what they say to their players for a reason. We don't have microphones and cameras at halftime, etc. Yes, we got some. For the first time, we got footage of Rolando Mokoena once again. And he was aware, he was unaware, mind you, of the fact that there were cameras in that last game against Cape Town City when he gave that speech at the end. He was unaware that there was sound and cameras, or cameras maybe, but that there was a sound recording of what he was saying. If you watch European football, you'll see players covering their mouths when they speak to each other, when they speak to coaches, when they speak to the referee, because people that are in the broadcasting industry started employing lip readers to see what they're saying. Many are saying all he did was do his job. He took a picture of a note and he exposed to what it said. Many are saying this was personal, it shouldn't have been. Where do you stand on it? I'm going to read the note to you because it is public information now. And you make up your mind of whether a line was crossed here or not. Okay? You make that decision of whether the line was crossed or not. But I will read the note to you sent by the coach, Rolando Mokoena, to his player. Something personal to the two of them, which is now out there for all to see without context. That's an important part to say we don't know, or you don't know the context to which what was said was being said. So you make your comments without that. I'll read it to you. And it goes, Oh, did I close it here? I need to just open it up, ruining my monologue. Here it is. It says, I said I would take a bullet for you. I'm asking you not to give up on me. I said I would take a bullet for you. I am asking you not to give up on me.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
It's 14 after the hour 6 on the mighty Metro FM. A chairman of Baroka Football Club, Khurishi Mphahlele, now joins us. Dr. Mphahlele, has been a very long time. Welcome to the show. Always good to have you.
Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Andile on Metro FM.
You sound like a Robert Marawa, man.
Do I? Is that a good or a bad thing?
Yeah, your voice.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Exactly like a Robert Marawa.
Is that a good or a bad thing, though, Che?
Eh?
Is that a good or a bad thing?
No, I'm just your voice. Your voice, you sound like a Robert Marawa, man.
Yeah, I know. It's training they give us here at the SABC. It's training they give us here at the SABC. Che, it's been a while. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Andile.
Congratulations on making it into the playoffs, first of all.
Oh, yeah. I hear that. It's a headache.
A nice headache, I'm sure.
It is a headache, the playoffs. We didn't want the playoffs anyway. We take it what is on the table. We want the straight automatic promotion, but it didn't happen. We have to go for playoffs.
Why do you think it didn't happen?
No, we wanted the league.
But you're saying it didn't happen. Why do you think it didn't happen? When you analyze, I mean, I know you
didn't win the league. That's why we're in the playoffs.
What do you think went wrong that you didn't win the league?
No, it happened. Doesn't help to cry over spilled milk.
And then, of course,
I just focus on the future.
Well, let's focus a little bit on a past, but not a past that's so long ago. You've let go of your coach, Malesela. He's been on some sort of suspension.
Yes, he's on suspension. Yes. What's wrong with that?
Why is he on suspension, Che?
He's on suspension because we got have that there's something he's doing behind our back.
So you've heard stuff that he's doing behind your back. So it's got nothing to do with losing the first game to Tuks.
No. Losing the game is part of the game. It's part of the football. We are not bad losers.
What is the hebe that you're hearing then, Che?
The hebe we are hearing is that there is some the club owners or the club chairman which are phoning him, discussing about their interest in some of our players, and he doesn't disclose that to us.
So you feel Dan is colluding with other teams to sell your players without your knowledge?
I mean, he can't. You know that he can't do that. But the best he can do is just tell me that so and so phoned me inquiring about this player. Or he must tell that somebody to say, look, you need to phone the chairman. Because I'm in the field on the ground, the chairman in the office. The clearance comes from the office, doesn't come from the ground. But he failed to do that. That's why we are investigating if that is true.
But then, let me understand this, Dr. Khurishi. Teams and chairmen are calling him, inquiring about your players, and he's not disclosing that people are calling him and inquiring about your players. Is that what you're investigating?
Yes.
But he hasn't spoken to players. He hasn't tried to sell players. He hasn't tried to, get players out of the club to join other teams.
No, he can't. He can't.
So he can't. Yeah, he has no bearing on who goes and who stays.
We need to be honest with each other. We need to be honest with each other. Whatever we hear, bring it to the table.
So all you wanted for him to do.
Everybody can know. Don't keep it for yourself.
But Chair, and once again, Chair, I'm just trying to get an understanding.
This thing end up into the head of the players, into the eyes of the player, into the ear of the players, to say so and so one may, and then we start seeing a different attitude from the players. You see what I mean?
So he didn't tell you, but he told the players.
No, I'm not saying it. That's why I'm going to do investigation. I'm not saying tell the players.
But Chair,
I'm saying there's a rumor. There's a rumor that say is communicating with some chairmen about our players.
So let me get this right, Chairman. The rumor is he's communicating with other chairmen about your players. You don't know which chairman, you don't know which players. He hasn't spoken to any of the players. He hasn't spoken to you. You just...
I know who's the chairman. I know those chairmen. I know.
Is it chairman in the DSTV Premiership?
I can't tell you now. I can't tell you.
But is it... But is it chairman in the DSTV Premiership?
Yes.
So fine. Dan Dance is speaking to other chairmen. They're calling him to inquire about your players. He's taking their calls, and you don't know what the conversation is between them. You're not sure what's happening between that. So you've suspended him after one game based on the fact that he took calls from other chairmen.
That rumor hasn't started on Sunday. It started to way back. And on Sunday, I received another rumor, which is about the third person, and for different player.
So, Chair, he hasn't spoken to any of the players to give them the big head that you speak of. All he's done is take calls from other chairmen, and this is what you're mad at.
Yes, he's talking to them. He's talking to them about Baroka's players. Without even mentioning that to me. If he came to me and said, hey, so and so had phoned me about this player, I'll understand that at least he's open. But if he keep quiet about that, after I hear it, after we qualify for the playoffs, and I started getting those rumors.
But Chair, if you don't know the conversation and what it says, what if it was a good conversation?
No. That's why I'm doing the inquiry. I don't have a right to do inquiry on the team.
Oh no, definitely, Chair.
Yes, that's why I'm doing inquiry. I don't want to jump into the conclusion. That's why suspending. We do the inquiry.
I just wonder about your timing, because if you're saying this is not the first time you're hearing of it,
what happened? It's also disturbing the preparation. Because I don't know if those players knows about the interest. Because once the players they know about those interests, they might even not giving us all what they should give to us. That's the problem.
And you think that disturbance is smaller than the disturbance of removing a coach during the playoffs?
It warrant. We don't want those type of things. Me, I feel that like that. If I'm wrong, I make mistakes, fine. If you feel it is wrong, you'll be the judge. But I've got the right to do the inquiry.
When you guys, as far as I knew, Chair, the last time we spoke, you were saying about how you and Dan Dance communicate and how you're very hands-on in running the club. I just wonder, when these rumors come, I'm assuming you had a conversation with the coach. How did that conversation go when you said to the coach, Coach,
no.
these are the rumors?
No, I didn't have any conversation with him.
You didn't feel as a chairman you owe him to say, what are you saying? This is the rumor?
No. I'm doing the inquiry. I'm busy with the inquiry.
If the inquiry
you want the reason why we're suspending. I'm telling you the reason why we're suspending. You're not happy about that?
I'm not happy, Chair. I'm very happy with your decision. It is your decision at your club. I'm just trying to get the reasoning.
You can come with your own conclusion. That's why I'm doing the inquiry.
And the result of the inquiry will then guide you as to what you do next?
If it is necessary. It's not everything that it should be public knowledge, yeah? If it is necessary.
Okay. No, I completely understand that. And then you went and got a new coach, of course, in place of Dan Dance.
Yes, the team must participate. The team must honor the fixture.
Tell me about why Morgan.
Morgan is the coach that he can coach any team, and he was available. Other coaches are not available.
And today the result, I'm sure you feel favored you as well. You're back in it as far as the playoffs are concerned. Do you feel Morgan is the guy that can take you to the DSTV Premiership?
Yes, of course. The today results they are good for us if we're gonna win our home match. It's not good if we're not gonna win our home match. If we win our home match, the result for today they're good for us.
And lastly, before I let you go, Mphahlele, when Dan took over the team, I think you were sitting in 15th place and you said all you wanted was promotion. He's obviously not going to get an opportunity to fulfill that. What is the relationship now between you and the coach? Is it something that could be resolved?
Look, I'm an employee, he's an employee. It's not a relationship. I don't have a relationship with him. It's an employer and an employee relationship. He do his work, I do my work. It ends up there.
I wonder, you speak about hearing mahebe and rumors. I've heard mahebe and rumors about how you were unsatisfactory and you were not happy with some of the substitutions he made in the Tuks game.
No, that is part of the game, of course. We can't always agree with that. And it doesn't happen. It's not once. He done that so many times, which I disagree with him. That was not the first time. But that's not the reason why we're suspending. Because there's a lot of the things which we did, which he did, which we did not. I did not agree with him. It is part of the game. He sees something which we don't see. We saw something which he doesn't see. It's part of the game.
Do you think if it had carried on, and I know this is a wild out there, but Dan feels like he could have qualified you?
Can you come again?
I'm saying Dan feels he could have qualified this team in this playoffs. You didn't consider keeping him until the end of the playoffs before this inquiry?
No. We feel that we can't carry on well is here with those type of rumor. We want the boys to be clear on their head. We don't want those type of the rumors to hover around us.
Dr. Khurishi Mphahlele, I wish you the best of luck. I always enjoy our conversations. So when we're in the DSTV Premiership, hopefully if you make it, we'll have a lot more of these. And just so you remember next time, even when you hear this voice, it's Andile.
No, you sound like Robert must have taught you.
Well, listen, he's the legend. He's the legend here.
Your line of questioning just exactly like Robert.
I'm very happy to hear that. He's done an amazing job.
And tell him that I'm saying that.
No, 100%. I appreciate that, Dr. Khurishi Mphahlele. It's a huge compliment.
Good luck to you. You're doing wonderful work. We need people like you in this box. I
appreciate it. Khurishi Mphahlele, that's a huge compliment. 27 after the hour 6, so the chairman of Baroka Football Club, joining us there to have a conversation. Dan Dance, Malesela, the coach, or former coach now at Baroka, joins us on the line as well. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. A friend of the room, of course, Dan. Terribly sorry to hear that you've been suspended.
Yeah, no, evening, no, but it's fine. It's fine.
Did you know why you were suspended? Were you told why you were suspended?
Well, it's about an investigation that is going on with the club about what happened before the match and after the match. That's what I know. That is what is in the letter that I was given.
Please, because I've just heard a different version. So perhaps if you can tell us what the letter said in comparison, then I'll be able to articulate to you what we've been told by the chairman. What was the reasoning given to you in the letter by the club?
The letter says that I'm suspended due to an issue that they are investigating that happened before and after the match of University of Pretoria. Yeah.
It doesn't say what the issue is?
Yeah, I asked, what the issue was, and the chairman said, no, we can't tell you what we are investigating you about, but we will investigate and tell you what is happening. If there's an inquiry that has to be done, then there will be an inquiry. If you have to appear before the DC, then let it happen. But I know for a fact there's nothing like that.
So what the conversation I've just had with the chairman now, the chairman says you're being investigated because of your conversation with DSTV Premiership chairman when they do call you or when they have called you, and he says he knows who they are, he knows what teams they're coming from. They've called you about players that play at Baroka.
Players about what?
I don't know. You tell me. He says it's an inquiry, so he doesn't know. The chairman of DSTV Premiership teams have called you to inquire about players at Baroka.
Andile, the fact of the matter is that unusual to other clubs, that I've been with before, I don't even know what is happening in the contracts of the players, and he will be bad testimony to that. I don't know what are in the contracts of the players and all of that, because I usually help clubs, in terms of when they sign a player or when they have a contract. I said, no, this one you should do this one you shouldn't do that, because sometimes clubs will sign a player and then they overcharge. Players are overcharged because of the agents and all of these things, and I will tell them, this one, no, don't go that high, this one, don't go that low, give him a good salary, give him what, so this one I didn't even know. I don't even know a single player's contract. All I know is my contract is ending this season. Are you keeping me and all these things, or are you going to do this? And I said, let's see what happens with the current season.
But then have you had any DSTV Premiership chairman, or any chairman for that matter, approach you about players?
I got a call. I got a text from one person, and I told my technical team, I said, look at this guy. He's saying he wants this player. Just one message, but I didn't take it serious. I have never spoken to anyone about any player.
So then, according to you, if that's not it, because that really can't be it for me. I'm listening to that. It can't be it. What I'm saying, and I hear it saying that that's all you've received. I'm saying then, Dan, then there's no ways that one text with you that you even openly shared with your technical team, because there was no secrecy to it. There's no ways that that's the reason you're under investigation and suspended. Why do you think you were fired or suspended?
No,
rather?
I know. I know that some technical members will I don't know the right word, but they will take this thing as if it's something else, and the person who sent the text is somebody I work for, and I know how he is, and I wouldn't even be able to say I recommend a player to him, because
to cheaper.
I've produced players for him and he didn't give me a cent, so I don't even care about that. But that was nothing. That's why I shared with the technical team there, and I laughed at it, and I said, look at this guy. He's saying no, he wants this particular player, and he's just not really making sense to me, because I won't give that boy to him. I wouldn't give any player to anybody. I'm not in the business of giving people players and all of that. I don't deal with issues of players and what they want to do and what. I want players to choose for themselves, because I always advise my players to say, look, you must choose the right team for you. Don't choose a team where you may be sitting on the bench or anything like that, or you're going to be loaned. Choose the right team for you. Look if you're going to fit in that team.
So Chipapeng is sends you.
I manage players in a way that I also manage their careers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't only manage them as players for me. I manage them for their careers, whether it's with the club or going ahead. If you are sold, you must know where you're being sold to.
So then, I need to know something. Chipampeng has to send you this text. You don't even entertain it. You don't even reply to it, correct? And then
I don't know if, no, I don't want to say Chipa send me the message.
So it's not Chipa?
No, it's not.
Okay. So you get a message from a chairman. You look at it. You don't even entertain it. You go on with your life.
I didn't even respond.
You don't even respond
to the message.
So now you're back. You're at the end of the game. A day later, you get suspended. I'm asking you now, Dan, because you're an intelligent man. Why do you think you're being suspended?
It's just being trigger happy.
What do you mean?
I just think the chairman got excited over things. Not excited as in being excited. I think he was just angry at the time because of the substitute made. And I wouldn't have gone to this boy and said, don't pass here, pass there, don't make a mistake.
The Maleba for
but I don't think in his sane mind he really meant what he did to me. He just got excited in terms of saying, no, I'm getting rid of the coach.
Is this the Sydney for Kagiso substitution?
I don't think even now he thinks that it was the right decision. I don't think he did. Me and him have a very close relationship. We fight.
That's not what he just said. He says he's an employer and you're just an employee. You don't have a relationship. He says all you are is a person that works for him.
No, we have. We have a serious relationship.
I said that to him, Dan. He blatantly said you're just an employee.
No. That's playing for the gallery. We have,
He even says he didn't speak to you personally. I'm shocked you're saying he spoke to you personally.
No, even on my birthday on the last week, the 27th of May, he was with me. And somebody who doesn't have a relationship with you, employee, employer, would not do that. He bought me meat and a few drinks and all of that, and we sat together. And it was not the first time. We always sit together. We always discuss. We always agree to disagree, or we agree or we don't agree. We fight. And I explained to him why this reason, why that reason.
Is there a way out of this, Dan?
He is not far away from me. Me and the chairman, I stayed at the village. I spend time, my whole time is at the village. And he knows I don't go around the walk home or anything. I only know the village. And he will be at the village for a long time. And sometimes we sit together and we talk.
What do you, according to knowing him the way you're saying and knowing yourself, and also I'm looking at the fact that, you've had trigger-happy bosses before and you've had a relationship where you kept going back. Is there a way out of this? Is there a way where this gets resolved and Dan Dance goes back to Baroka according to where you sit now?
No, legally I'm suspended. And I'm not fired, so I'm suspended. If anything goes wrong and the chairman says, go back, I'm obliged to go back, because if I don't, legally I'll be at default.
A breach of... Yeah.
There is nothing that I can do but to go back. And professional as I am, I would not even hold a grudge. I've gone back to clubs where the things were bad and worse, so I understand.
Dan, I don't know if there's a resolve to this, but I think you guys clearly need to have some sort of conversation on that friendship level that you speak of, because it seems you're on two different levels of understanding as to why you're even suspended. You did such a great job to get the team here, taking them from 15th, which is something that I did mention to the chair, to his acknowledgement. With Morgan now being hired to finish off the playoffs, I wonder if there's space back for you to finish the job that you started.
No, Andile, for me, it's not about going back or not going back. It's about me being professional and doing my job. If you are asked to do this, I will do it. I will do it, and I will not be different, and I will not be untoward to anybody else or to the chairman. I'm human, and if anybody does not believe that they are human, then they must look at something else, because I work for football, and I will work for football every time. There are kids that I need to take care of more than anybody else. These kids have been with me for such a long time, and they have an attachment with me. I made them understand me, and I made myself to understand them. And I'm sure that wherever they are, something is untoward for them. And I'm not saying I must take credit for whatever, but I found these kids not known. Now people are phoning, and they are phoning anybody else or whoever that they are phoning, for them to have something else. So it's not about me, it's about these kids, because their careers are important. I'm going to leave this game sooner than they will be expanding their careers.
Dan, I wish you the best of luck. I had a whole monologue about you yesterday. I think I'm going to send it to you, because I think there was all my feelings on your coaching career. But I wish you the very best of luck, and thank you so much for always coming out and talking to us.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Stan Dance Malesela. It's 1840. I think we're going to go straight to Mphahlele Davids next. It's exactly 1841 on the mighty Metro FM. It's South Africa's most listened to radio show and Africa's favorite. Welcome to it. Joining me now is another one who is Africa's favorite right now, North Africa anyway. An import from South Africa. So happy to have him on the air. Mphahlele Davids, assistant coach at Raja Casablanca, assisting former Orlando Pirates coach Joseph Zimbauer, doing an amazing job at it. Mphahlele, thank you so much for talking to us, and congratulations on, an amazing season.
Good evening, and thank you for your listeners, and fantastic to be here.
Coach, you guys have done so well, yourself and Joseph Zimbauer. That relationship seems to be very pocket deep and knee deep. It seems to be entrenched in true blood, that something that happened here in South Africa, and he's taken you all around the world. A special bond, that, huh?
Yeah, we've at Orlando Pirates, I think, coming in as a foreign coach, having a local assistant is not always easy, but I think once we gained the trust and we saw football in a similar way, it was easy then to be able to work together. We now on this journey to rebuild the club Raja Casablanca, and let's see. One game to go. It's not over yet, but we'll try to do our best to have the invincible season.
One game to go to win it all and have an invincible season. I mean, we saw it play out here in South Africa just a week or so ago. That's the kind of work that you guys have done there. Talk to me about the league, that side. I mean, we don't get to get it, we only get to see it when it gets to Champions League. But talk to me about the difficulty, the professionalism of the league. They're working for a club as entrenched and as big as Raja.
Yeah, I think you have to go back to when we joined. I think we joined 3 games to go of last season. The club ended 5th. 4 games to go, we won 2 and we drew 2. And then we were in the semi-final of the cup against Wydad. We beat Wydad and lost in the final against Baroka, having a man sent down in the first few minutes of the final. So we had a taste of the squad of the season last season, but the club ended 5th. So it was about rebuilding the club, getting it back to Africa, and getting it back. It's a huge institution, a fantastic fan base, 30 to 45,000 every week, filled up in our home stadium. That is now subsequently being closed down because of they renovating for AFCON. But fantastic. We played our first 10 league matches of the season. We played there. It was unbelievable experience playing at that stadium, and it's just such a passionate club with passionate fans, and it's unbelievable what we've achieved so far to get the club back to be back in the Champions League first of all, and really a huge opportunity for us to make history. You can see the club points. Sundowns, I think they've broken the record this season with 73 points. And if we win our last match, we'll get to 72, which is also a record for our club. So one game to go. You don't want to count your chickens before, but a lot of focus, a lot of energy put into this last game because it's a team we're playing that is also needs to win to be able to avoid relegation. So definitely not an easy match, but we will travel to Utsjoe to play the final match, and then we still have the semi-final of the cup left after that.
You've been in South Africa long enough, from starting out as a coach, playing even, all the way to the biggest club here in South Africa, in Orlando Pirates, one of the biggest anyway. When you look at the level of football, and I'm talking about, the ability of the players and the technical and tactical knowledge of the game from our players' point of view, where do you place, if you were to measure up the two, Coach, where do you place where you are there compared to where we are here in South Africa?
I don't think we give our players enough credit. I think technically, skill-wise, our players are on a far, far superior level. I think the difference here is tactically they're slightly better. They grow up in a 4-3-3 education system where all of the teams more or less play 4-3-3. You'll have your townships like you have in South Africa, exactly the same, but within the middle of the townships, the lights will be on with artificial courts until 12 a.m. in the morning. So kids are playing non-stop, and that is where they get their passion and their skills from. That is a little bit lost in South Africa at the moment, but just the passion for the game, I think on this side, that winning mentality that they have within their skin. We always talk about as South Africans, it's so difficult to play these North Africans because they're wasting time. They're doing everything in their power. To win the match.
Do you guys teach them at training, Coach? Because it happens with all of them.
It's within their DNA. It's just a trait that they have here. They don't want to lose a small-sided game. If the game goes 3-0 and then the other team will give up, or they'll fight. There'll be fist fight and you have to stop the training. You cannot play a normal tournament, what you do on a regular basis. In South Africa, there's a small prize money and 4 teams of 5 against 5. You cannot do that here because it just gets so tense and everybody wants to win.
This is a training?
This is a training, yes. You often have to stop the training because of fist fights and that desire just to win. So that is one thing us South Africans, we have it too easy in South Africa, and here they'll do everything in their power, and that winning mentality, I think, is just within the DNA here in Morocco.
Coach, congratulations on your qualification, the highest qualification of the coaches, especially here in Southern Africa and in South Africa. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Pito's the only other one I can think of with a UEFA Pro license. A huge undertaking this on your behalf. Congratulations, Coach.
No, thank you. I think Coach Pitso, I think, is the very first African to get the CAF Pro, which was held here in Morocco. So there's a few coaches that have the CAF Pro. I think with the UEFA Pro, I think Benny McCarthy and Stephen Pina are the first two to have.
Yes, I remember Stephen Pina, I think last year. Congratulations. Such a huge milestone, Coach. And armed with that, I'm pretty sure you're looking, beyond just Africa. You're looking at the world. At the moment, when you're playing, you're playing against the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Arab Cup, and you literally have the best players in the world at your oyster that you're testing yourself and the coaches must against. It must be an exciting time for you.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I think it started in 2015 where we started with the UEFA B, and it's been a long journey. Lots of traveling, lots of sacrifices, sleepless nights, but all worth it. It's been an intense course over 16 months. And last week was the final block and the final graduation with our final tests and presentations that we had to complete. And finally, it's done. graduated, and such a huge honor and a huge achievement. But yeah, it's been long, but worth it.
Do you think of coming home at any point to be a head coach? You know, you hear of jobs here and there. You know how the availability of jobs shows up every now and then in the DStv Premiership. Does have a mid to high turnover of coaches. Do you ever, put a CV in or, make a call? Are you interested at all?
No, it's not about putting CVs in. It's there's been a couple of contacts, not from South Africa, for head coaching jobs, but you have to be professional. You have to focus on the task at hand. We will probably still be carrying on until the end of June. We have the last match now on the 14th, and then 21st we play the semi-final, and full focus on that. And let's see at the end of the season what happens. We still have a year contract, so we'll probably be another.
But the ambition is to one day be your own man, be a coach, or is this a relationship that you're gonna like to see out for a little bit longer, Coach? Have you thought that?
We had long discussions after the Russia job, and I took the Maritzburg job, and there was possibilities for where Zimbabwe asked me to join him in certain jobs or countries, and I said no. After the Maritzburg United contract finished, and he asked me to join him, and I said okay, I'll do that for you right now, and we'll help build this club. And that's where I don't really like to make plans and say next I want to be a head coach, but if the opportunity comes, you always look at it.
Coach, I want to just ask you one or two more questions. If we could just please quickly take a quick ad break. Very proud of the work that he's doing. Coach Mphahlele David, who is an assistant to Joseph Zimbabwe out at Raja Casablanca in Morocco.
The ShopRite price means you'll get low prices on everything you need. Like 1 kg Kellogg's cornflakes for only $69.99. 750 grams Nola mayonnaise for just $36.99. 400 mils Nivea body lotion, just $54.99 each. And Huggies Dry Comfort or Gold baby nappies or pants, only $189.99 each. Valid until 9 June. Only at ShopRite.
Be the future with Regent Business School. Invest in your future success with our accredited MBAs, postgraduate diplomas, degrees and certificates. We're not just an institution, we're your partners. Our 21st century approach in teaching and learning offers education for today's fast-paced world that allows collaborating, engaging and conquering real-world challenges with 25 years experience in distance learning. Visit regent.ac.za. Mid-year registration now open.
And they're off! Bet 50 Rand or more on horse racing with Hollywood Bets, and you could win over 2 million Rand in prizes, including a brand new Golf GTI or an Amoda Elegance S. Bet now to race to the finish line. T's and C's apply.
Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
1853 on the Mighty Metro FM. Son of the soil, very proud of Mphahlele David, who's gone out and gotten his UEFA Pro license. Stands on the verge of having an invincible season. One more game to go, and a highest tally of any team historically out in Morocco, alongside Joseph Zimbabwe as they lead Raja Casablanca. Coach, I heard you mentioning Mamelodi Sundowns. How close are your tabs being kept to what's happening here locally?
No, I'd like to congratulate Coach Rulani Mokoena on a fantastic season. They really stamped their authority on the African continent, and all the teams here up in North Africa look up to Sundowns, enjoy, respect Sundowns, and fear Sundowns to a certain degree. The football they played this season, absolutely fantastic, and a huge congratulations to the entire Mamelodi Sundowns club. Orlando Pirates as well for a fantastic double cups. They've done extremely well, and of course the colleague and Steve Barker, unbelievable season with Stellenbosch getting to Africa. a fantastic season. I've been keeping tabs on the South African local PSL, and it's been quite an interesting campaign in the PSL.
Coach, you sit in a pool of coaches where you are, and you know, as much as you measure up teams and players, you measure up coaches as well. There's been a name of particular interest here in South Africa that you get to see and analyze perhaps his team and the way he does things. What are your thoughts on Nasruddin Nabi?
Yeah, he's been on top of the log with FAR Rabat the entire season up until last week. Quite a direct approach in terms of going forward, scoring with set pieces, really ruthless in terms of how he plays. Difficult always to play against. He's inherited a team that won the league last season for Rabat as well. They've strengthened. They've made a couple of really good signings. So all I can say is it's been a tough battle. After the January break, they won 8 in a row. It was just now in the last 5 games where they lost 1 game and drew 1 game. We were able to go above them. So it's been a tough neck and neck battle. We've always stayed close, but they were on top of the log since day one. We've drawn both of our matches against them. So I'm not sure if he continues at FAR Rabat or wherever he goes, but quite a difficult coach to play against.
I'm very sure there's a contingent of people here in South Africa who are very happy to hear that. Coach, a very sour ending to this conversation, because I remember conversations I had when you left South Africa, and I wonder, do you still think back to what happened in Maritzburg United? And we never heard from you as far as that is concerned. It was very big allegations that were put against you by the chairman at the time. When you think back at that time at Maritzburg United, Coach, what is your response to it?
Yeah, I think that is why I stayed out of the media. It was quite concerning for things that were being said, and that's why I stayed out of the media and immediately just left it, because I have a huge respect for the chairman, Farouk Kadodia. He was hurt. We all were hurt. The entire city was hurt about what happened, and allegations against players for selling matches, which was ongoing throughout the season, and it continued. And you leave that chapter behind. There's lots of good that came out of Maritzburg. There's a lot of good times at Maritzburg. There's a lot of players we've sold at Maritzburg that you could even buy a PSL franchise from. You can go through all the players that have been sold under my tutelage. So it was a difficult ending towards a impossible job. I immediately came back from Russia, and everybody, after coaching Orlando Pirates the previous season in the CAF Confederations Cup final, and everybody was asking me, why do you take a team that is already relegated, bottom of the log, you go there? It's a team that is close to my heart, and it was really difficult to we finally got to 30 points at the end of the season, but it was just not enough to save the club in the playoffs. So a chapter that is closed, but I was watching them closely, hoping they could get promoted. It was up until the last day of the NFD, where they just missed out on the playoff spot. So they will be back. They have a huge, fantastic fans in the city, a huge Friday nights, what we created there. Fantastic football at that time, and I'm sure Maritzburg United will be back. A huge disappointment for the fans, a huge disappointment for the chairman, because I respect him immensely. And yeah, it's water under the bridge. I'm not a coach who holds grudges. It's emotional time at that moment, understandable, but all is forgiven and forgotten in the move on.
Coach, you're going to get the first bouquet of flowers from us when you arrive back in South Africa after the invincible season you're about to have. Very happy, very proud to shout your name and scream it high, because you really are carrying our flag. Thank you so much for talking to us. And when you do arrive, I'd love an hour's conversation on just coaching on the African continent and, you know, just will we get it right, will we get it wrong? I think your direction, alongside those that have left the country and come back to employ here, will be such a great thing to have. Coach Mphahlele Davids, all the best and thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Great conversations. Thank you to Mphahlele Davids for speaking to us. He hasn't spoken to media since leaving Maritzburg United. The coach of Raja Casablanca coming on to have a conversation with us. The chairman of Baroka and the coach also coming on to have conversations with us. We really do appreciate you talking to us. Got to get out of here. Thank you for being part of the show. Timmy, ole para. Pela. And so...